So one of the things I've observed is when you start a business, people have so many suggestions. They mean well. They forward things to you. They tell you, oh, you should be doing this way. There's this person doing it that way. There's this person who is doing it this way. And especially, I'm speaking from my experience in my industry, they forward pictures, things like that to you. How do you stay focused? How do you know which recommendation, suggestion is good for you as you hear all this?
Okay, suggestions are good, but you are the one who is bearing your vision and you have set your goals. So long as the suggestions fit into the pace you want to go and what you want to achieve at the end of the day, all well and good. But not everything will be good for what your business you're doing based on how you see it in the future. So people will come in with all those suggestions, yes, but sometimes you also need to ask what prompted you to bring that suggestion. Ask the person who what prompted you to bring that suggestion. Sometimes excitement and over enthusiasm brings them to do that. They don't consider the cost involved in probably going the way they are proposing. For instance, you have a packaging that you use for your products. Yes, by all means, improve your packaging, but you must always count the cost before you jump onto a wagon that you later fall off. So it's always important you improve gradually. The ideas are good, keep them down and then explore them as you go along. But don't just jump on it simply because somebody said so and somebody else is doing it. It doesn't really help you. So you need to remain focused because you are your vision bearer. Nobody else. The person proposing to you didn't dream it. You dreamt it. You know what you saw or what you have in your mind's eye. And so that is what should always guide you. That is not to say what you have is cast in stone and cannot change, but the change must emanate from within you so that you can follow through. If somebody else pushes it, you go along with it, the person will not be there to support you when the challenges come. So you do it your pace. All the challenges and the comments that will come, they are good, but it must be at your pace. Yes.
So I think in my business, I've had to learn this the hard way, especially with costs, because when people have recommended, oh, do a shampoo, a conditioner, don't you have this, don't you have this? What they don't realize is that the formulation is just one part. Formulation of it, that's very easy. I'm able to come up with that. But you now look at what container are you going to use?
Yeah.
How the label should be, FDA certification.
Yeah.
Size.
Yeah.
Are you doing it 2 sizes, 3 sizes?
Yeah.
So the suggestion is good, but what goes into coming out with one product is a lot.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that you have to look at what goes in. You will know best what goes into it with the kind of quality you want to put out there. So
Exactly.
maybe you can't be coming out with new products
Exactly.
every other week
Yes.
if you want to do something a certain way.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that the hard way. So they mean well, but they don't know what goes into actually coming out with a product. And
yes.
what it's not just making it and coming out, figuring out even where you're getting your packaging from, and then when it comes out, customer feedback, maybe that is not working so well.
Exactly.
You have to change it again.
Exactly.
Someone says, oh, don't you have a bigger size, or don't you have a smaller size we can put in our bag?
Yes.
And oh, don't you have this other fragrance with it, and on and on. So definitely those are some. So I want to talk about the emotional ride of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
When we all heard about entrepreneurship and there was a drive, they said, oh, you can leave your 8 to 5 job, you are your own boss, all that. When you start, it's exciting. You've come up with the product, you've marketed it, people have said kudos. Then there are days you get up, there's no sale. The cost of things may go up.
Yes.
The cash flow is not as you expected. And how do you survive those times emotionally, especially? Because maybe outside it's not seen, but you are in there with the products, you've made it, you've sent reminders, you've sent adverts out, and still no orders are coming in.
Yeah.
On those days, how do you keep moving?
You know, the reality of life is that nothing is smooth sailing. Our lives as human beings and our businesses, nothing is really smooth sailing. And life is full of ups and downs. So, right from the beginning of your business, you need to begin to psych yourself to understand that it will not be a smooth ride. That is the first thing. Now, it also comes in, what comes in now is the issue of skill we spoke about. Depending on the skill you start with, you are able to manage some of these shocks. So, for instance, you started an enterprise to cook food. Immediately, you want to cook one bag of rice. Sometimes even the one ologa is not finishing. So your scale is important. It's a difficult thing, but it's the reality. It can happen. I always advise people, don't just leave your 8 to 5 job and ride on the wave of hype to go into your small business. That's why we call it a small business. It starts on the side. And you must also have additional streams of income. That is what a lot of people don't have. And so their income is just dependent on one source. And when that place squeezes, then you are in trouble. So your 8 to 5 job, there's a lot of time we have, weekends, holidays, stuff like that we can use to grow our small businesses before we get to the point where it is fully meeting our needs. Then you can leave one. So maybe we can't talk about it today, but the issue of passive and active income really comes in. The active one is what you are assured will happen at the end of the month. The passive one is the one you are getting from your other streams or other sources, your small businesses, your consulting work, your small retail something and all that. YouTubing, stuff like that. And so that is how you manage those kind of things. They are realities, they will happen. But right from the beginning, you need to understand that these are realities, even in your daily life. So there are days you wake up with a headache. Okay. Does that, because of that, you stop living? Yes. So that's how it works. So for me, I think that I will encourage every entrepreneur to not to put all your eggs in one basket. And so if you are into production, then you need to really look out for what are the products that will really work. If you are into retail, you need to also find out what are the fast-moving goods that you think you can deal in. If you are into other forms of things, fashion, service, and all that, you need to, or you can do a combination of all these things. So if this one is not working today, the other one will work. So for instance, for those who deal in, who trade in farm inputs, there are certain seasons of the year, all your stock is just there. Nobody will buy it because nobody is using it. Nobody's using it. So for me, that is how I think people need to approach it. It's a reality in life. It will happen. But you shouldn't think that because of that, then I no longer want to focus on what will be the alternative. So my advice, don't just jump out of your 8 to 5 job, but work towards making sure your small business grows, and then you can now fully concentrate. That is what I'll say. Okay. Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I would want you to share with us maybe 2 or 3 mistakes entrepreneurs make as they run their business, whether when they are starting or when they've started, and then 2 or 3 recommendations you give out to anyone who is starting.
Okay. So first, I would like to recommend record keeping. Now, record keeping is not just about recording, oh, today I made 20 balls of kinky and I sold it at this. But what went into the making of your kinky? Even when you are starting, you need to put down the process you went through in, finalizing your dream, your goals, stuff like that. Record keeping is very critical because anybody who wants to come to you and support you or have a stake in your business would like to see where you started from and where you're going. So record keeping is very important. Now, with record, what I mean is even includes the small concept paper you developed, your simple business plan, stuff like that. It's very, very, very important. But most of us don't do it. We dream about it, so everything we dream about, everything we dream about it, and everything. The second thing mistakes people make is that we don't segregate our inflows and outflows. Any money comes, goes into your handbag. You should have you need to separate your personal funds from your business funds.
Okay.
Anything in my handbag is mine. So nobody controls it. But you need to have your own personal funds you use for your personal things, your business funds that you use for your business things. Any personal fund you are moving into your business is your part of your equity, as it were, into it. Very, 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 very important. Mistakes we make, we don't delay gratification. The first production has gone very well, and immediately the money comes in. You are thinking about a fine car, you are thinking about some change of wardrobe, you are thinking about, some flashy something. And so the money you're supposed to reinvest in your business goes into your gratification. So my recommendation, start keeping records from the day you dream. The process you go through to birth what you put it down. Number 2, separate your funds. Have your personal funds, have your business funds. And then number 3, delay gratification. Delay gratification. Normally a business will stabilize 3 to 5 years. And even that's when you are lucky and you've had quite consistent growth. I mean, nobody is marking the dress you wore to the event last week and you are still wearing it today. Nobody. I mean, people will look out for those things, but they are not really important. So delay your gratification. Splurge once in a while, but delay your gratification. You want to buy a Bentley, wait, you be doing some yellow for now. That kind of thing. So these are the 3 things I would like to talk about. And overall, if you're a person of faith, from day 1, prayer is key. That is not to say prayer takes the place of hard work. No. And a strong faith. It's very important. Because when the emotional upheavals come, it is your faith that will keep you focused. So I think that is what I would like to say.
Antifa, thank you so much. And I think we'll wrap up with you giving a small encouragement to the entrepreneur out there who is listening, and any words of encouragement you want to give.
Okay. Entrepreneurship is a very good option for anybody who wants to enter. But it takes hard work and commitment. I would like to encourage everybody, go through the process of thinking through your dreams and start after you've done your homework. Don't just start it because you dreamt it yesterday and you're starting it today. It doesn't really work out that way. So Be encouraged. Things Life is full of ups and downs. So your business will definitely have ups and downs, but be encouraged. It is doable. It is a very, very viable alternative to creating wealth. Advice to my younger self in relation to retirement. First, healthy living. You need to be conscious about healthy living right from your youthful days. Exercise, eat well, don't overindulge in too many sugary things and stuff like that. Number two, savings and investments. Savings to be able to have a nest egg to tide you in times of emergencies, and then investments that you can begin to monetize as you age. So you can do some investments in real estate. You can do investments in educational funds to be able to take care of your children. You can do investments in savings that you can use to invest in businesses and stuff like that. Third, social networks. We have a lot of WhatsApp groups, but it should be for purpose. We need to be able to keep in touch with the friends we've made right from secondary school through to our university days, other social networks, our church, readers clubs, stuff like that, so that boredom won't eventually kill you. So these are the key advice I'll give to my younger self.